For years, Lexus was the luxury brand people bought when they wanted peace of mind. While other luxury brands chased performance badges, huge screens, and complicated technology, Lexus built its name on quiet comfort, long-term reliability, and cars that simply worked. But in 2026, something feels different. Lexus is still refined, still dependable, and still one of the strongest luxury names in the industry. But the design is bolder, the cabins are more digital, hybrids are taking over, electric models are arriving, and some buyers are asking a serious question. Is Lexus still the calm, timeless luxury brand we remember, or is it becoming too close to Toyota with nicer materials? In this video, we're looking at what changed, what still makes Lexus special, and whether the brand is protecting its reputation or slowly losing the identity that made it famous. To understand how Lexus became one of the most respected luxury brands in the world, we have to go back to the reason it was created in the first place. Toyota had already become a giant in America, but there was one problem they could not ignore. When loyal Toyota owners became wealthier and wanted something more premium, many of them moved to Mercedes-Benz, BMW, or other luxury brands. So Toyota decided not just to build a nicer Toyota, but to create a completely new luxury brand that could challenge the best in the world. The project began in the 1980s with a massive engineering mission. Toyota invested huge amounts of money, used thousands of engineers and technicians, built hundreds of prototypes, and tested the car in extreme conditions around the world. The goal was not just comfort or style, the goal was perfection. At the center of that mission was the legendary LS400. It was smooth, quiet, powerful, and built with a level of precision that shocked the luxury car industry. Its V8 engine became known for refinement and durability, and the car did not feel like a rebadged Toyota. It felt like something completely new. When the Lexus LS400 launched in 1989, it proved that Toyota could build a luxury car that did not copy the Germans. It challenged them, and that was the beginning of the Lexus path. Lexus did not stop with the LS. Once the brand proved it could build a world-class luxury sedan, it started expanding its identity. The ES gave buyers a smaller and more affordable entry into Lexus luxury. The SC brought a stylish coupe into the lineup. The GS added a sportier sedan for drivers who wanted more excitement without giving up comfort. And by the early 1990s, Lexus had already become a serious threat to the established German luxury brands in America. But the move that truly changed the industry came in 1998 with the Lexus RX 300. At the time, most SUVs were built like trucks. They were rugged, boxy, and designed around off-road capability. But Lexus noticed something important. Most SUV owners were not actually using them off-road. They wanted the higher seating position, the space, the safety feeling, and the practicality, but they still wanted comfort. So Lexus created something different. The RX combined the smoothness of a luxury sedan with the usefulness of an SUV. It was not trying to be the toughest off-road vehicle. It was trying to be the luxury vehicle people would actually use every day. That decision helped create the modern luxury crossover segment. Then, Lexus moved again. In 2005, the RX Hybrid showed that luxury and fuel efficiency could work together. The LS460 brought advanced transmission technology, and the LS600H pushed hybrid luxury even further. Lexus was not just following trends, it was helping create them. Then in 2010, Lexus did something nobody expected. It built a supercar. The Lexus LFA was not a normal business decision. It began as an engineering experiment in the early 2000s with one major goal: push Lexus beyond comfort, reliability, and quiet luxury. This was Lexus trying to prove it could build something emotional. The result was one of the most unforgettable cars the brand has ever made. The LFA used a 4.8-liter V10 engine developed with Yamaha, producing over 550 horsepower and revving all the way to 9,000 revolutions per minute. The engine responded so quickly that a traditional analog tachometer could not keep up, so Lexus had to use a digital display instead. The body was built mostly from carbon fiber. It could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 3.6 seconds and reach over 200 miles per hour. But the numbers were only part of the story. The real magic was the sound. Lexus worked with Yamaha, a company famous for musical instruments, to shape the engine note and send that sound into the cabin like a performance. Only 500 units were built, and each one felt more like a handcrafted statement than a mass-produced product. The LFA was not created to chase profit. It was created to show what Lexus could do when engineers were given freedom. And for many people, this was Lexus at its peak. So what happened to Lexus? Around the 2010s, the brand started facing a different kind of question. In the beginning, Lexus asked, "How do we build something the world has never seen?" But over time, the question became, "How do we build something efficiently, profitably, and at scale?" And that is where the change began. The early Lexus formula was built on separation. The LS400 did not feel like a nicer Toyota. It felt like a completely different machine. It had its own identity, its own engineering mission, and its own reason to exist. But today, the line between Toyota and Lexus is not as wide as it once was. Modern Lexus models still offer comfort, quietness, reliability, premium interiors, better materials, and a more refined ownership experience. But many now share platforms, powertrain families, hybrid systems, and technology direction with Toyota. And for some buyers, that creates a serious question. What makes a Lexus special in 2026? That does not mean Lexus is bad. In fact, many Lexus models are still among the safest luxury choices you can buy. The problem is perception. When Toyota keeps improving and Lexus keeps moving closer to Toyota's engineering base, the luxury gap starts to feel smaller. So the real question is no longer whether Lexus is reliable. It is. The question is whether Lexus still feels unique enough to justify the badge, the price, and the reputation it built. This is where Lexus has a real identity problem. Years ago, Lexus felt like the place where Toyota showed its best engineering first. The smoothest engines, the quietest cabins, the most refined technology, and the most premium ideas often started with Lexus before slowly moving into Toyota's higher-end models. But today, that gap feels smaller. Toyota has improved dramatically, while Lexus now shares more platforms, hybrid systems, and technology with Toyota. That does not mean Lexus is no longer good. In many ways, Lexus is still comfortable, reliable, and well-built. But it does make buyers ask one important question: what makes it worth the extra money? Lexus also seems split between two missions: quiet luxury for loyal buyers and sporty emotion for a younger audience. The problem is, those two identities do not always blend clearly. So Lexus is still respected, but its direction feels less certain.